The Prince of Darkness has taken his final bow, and this time, it's not a stage performance. Today, the streets of Birmingham aren't echoing with electric guitars or thunderous applause. Instead, they're lined with silence, tears, and tributes. Because this is where it ends. Ozzy Osbourne, the voice that once defined a generation of rebellion and rage, is coming home for the last time. It started just after 1 p.m. local time. A slow-moving procession weaved its way through Birmingham's Broad Street. No screaming fans, no stage lights, just thousands of heavy hearts following a hearse carrying a legend. This wasn't just a funeral, it was the final ride of a man whose music shook the foundations of rock. The crowd gathered near the Black Sabbath Bridge, named after the band that started it all. On that bridge sits a bench immortalizing the original lineup: Ozzy, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Bill Ward. Life-size cutouts frozen in time, now serving as silent witnesses to the farewell of their brother in sound. But as the hearse passed, the tears didn't just come from the fans, they came from the city itself. To Birmingham, Ozzy wasn't just a rock god, he was one of their own. A local boy who rose from working-class roots to global stardom. Lord Mayor Zuffer Iqbal called him a son of Birmingham. And on this day, the city responded with aching love. Taped to the bridge railings were photographs, guitars, letters, and a worn Aston Villa football shirt. Scrawled across it, a message read, "Final stop on the crazy train," a gut-punch reference to Ozzy's iconic solo debut. Beneath it, another line whispered, "But metal lives forever." Every flower dropped, every candle lit, and every whispered lyric was a tribute not just to a man but to an era. But this goodbye wasn't just for Birmingham. As the news of his passing spread, the world responded. A live stream focused on the Black Sabbath bench became a digital altar. Fans from Tokyo to Toronto tuned in not to watch a performance but to mourn a memory. Social media exploded with tributes. Longtime collaborators shared photos never seen before. Younger artists, rappers, metalheads, even pop stars posted videos thanking Ozzy for paving the way. Some called him the original disruptor. Others simply said, "Thank you for the madness." And yet, amid the heartbreak, something remarkable began happening. A song released 44 years ago suddenly roared back to life. Crazy Train, Ozzy's first solo single, flooded airwaves and playlists. So much so, it did the unthinkable: it cracked the Billboard Hot 100 chart for the very first time. Number 46. Not because of a marketing campaign or a label push, but because fans across generations kept playing it. Again and again. There's something poetic about it. His debut solo anthem, once a battle cry for outsiders, had become a parting hymn for the masses. A final roar into the void before silence returned. What makes this moment even more haunting is what happened just weeks before. Ozzy, despite health battles and retirement announcements, stepped onto a stage one last time. In Birmingham, with his bandmates. Black Sabbath reunited once more in the city where it all began. Over 40,000 people were there. They didn't know it then, but they were witnessing the last flicker of a legend. Ozzy didn't say much, but what he did say stayed with everyone. "You have no idea how I feel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." Some fans now wonder, was that the real goodbye? Was he giving us one last moment before slipping away for good? By 2023, Ozzy had retired from touring. The reason? Parkinson's, a degenerative condition that slowly eroded his ability to perform. But in true Osbourne fashion, he didn't stop creating. He kept releasing music. He showed up for interviews. He made people laugh. He kept the darkness at bay with sheer force of will. Privately, though, things were different. Close friends revealed he'd been fighting hard, some days barely able to stand, others pushing through pain just to feel normal. Yet he never let the public see defeat. He wanted fans to remember him not as fragile but as fierce. Ozzy didn't just change music, he changed culture. He wasn't polished. He wasn't controlled. He was raw energy bottled in chaos. He gave metal its face, its growl, its bite. From the haunting tones of War Pigs to the manic scream of Paranoid, his voice became the soundtrack to rebellion for millions. He inspired generations of bands, countless tattoos, and a lifestyle built on rejecting the norm. Even his reality TV era, wild, unpredictable, and often hilarious, opened him up to a new wave of fans. Young people who weren't alive when Master of Reality dropped still felt connected to the madness. And now, as that madness fades, the legacy only grows louder. Ozzy Osbourne's journey ended where it began, in the heart of Birmingham, surrounded by the streets that raised him and the fans who never let him fall. There were no grand speeches, no over-the-top tributes, just a slow procession, a quiet bench, and a world watching. The man who once bit the head off a bat left this world with more dignity than anyone expected. Not with a scream but with a legacy echoing through time. The crazy train has stopped, but for the millions he inspired, the music plays on. Because Ozzy Osbourne may have left the stage, but the darkness? It still dances in the sound.